The optics, as they say, doesn't look really good for the Republican
Well,
Party.
the optics are obviously horrible, taking on an African-American woman in this way.
I really wonder, do a bunch of old white guys, Mika, want to make their first big battle post-election, a battle going up against a younger woman of color?
Well, do they have a point? Again, that's Joe Scarborough, former Republican congressman from Florida, from NBC. Is it a bad idea for Republicans to go after Susan Rice so strongly? I want to bring in our panel on this. Jessica Proud, Republican strategist and vice president at NLO Strategies. Dominic Carter, political journalist and author. And Andrew Whitman, our senior political correspondent. Okay, let's say people even agree somebody screwed up. As it related with Benghazi.
Clearly.
Days later, the story got out, whether it was the talking points from intelligence, redacted it. We'll find this out. The optics, though. Does it look right for McCain to say, when most people don't think it was Susan Rice who made the call, what was in the document or not, we're going to filibuster no matter what. It's still old white guy, younger African-American woman. I thought this was the kind of thing that after the election, as a party, the Republicans were doing everything they could to try and guard against. Am I wrong?
Well, it's a convenient excuse for the Democrats to use this. It's a red herring. You have a very serious situation here where 4 Americans are dead, and that's the fact of the matter. And there's a lot of questions that still need to be answered. And I don't care if you're white, yellow, purple, brown, whatever background you have, these questions need to be answered. And frankly, I think she never should have been put in that position to begin with. It should have been Hillary Clinton in that chair.
That's the point. Here's my question. If people want to get up on somebody over this, they had a chance. Petraeus was there. He ran the CIA. They're the ones who put out the talking points for people to talk about. Now, if you listen to him, he said they knew it was a terror attack the night it happened. He furthermore said that they took it out because they didn't want to tip off the terror cells in Benghazi, in Libya at the time, that they were onto him or whatever else. Other than saying that the guy was a horn dog, they never went after Petraeus on this. And then secondarily, I haven't heard a word about Secretary of State Hillary Clinton. You know, she didn't go out there, but not one Republican said a cross word about her.
But why didn't she go out there, Richard? She should have been the one.
But she hasn't done a lot of Sunday talk shows
just because
anyway.
the Democrats want to make this as an excuse and say you're picking on a woman or you're picking on a minority.
Is she the right target?
Yes, because she was the one out there giving the misleading information, which she had no business ever being out there to begin with.
But if she went out and she went off script, off the talking points that came from the CIA, that would be cause to be dismissed from her post or to be ineligible to ever be a Secretary of State. You're supposed to go by what the intelligence puts out there.
Right. She's getting information, but someone in the White House authorized that information of what she said. And who is accountable for it needs to be discovered, and that hasn't happened yet. And that's what this process is playing out. So to use a race card or a gender card, I don't think that's an effective argument at this stage. We need to get to the bottom of the answers.
Yes, man, so I'm looking at you. By the way, is that pink or salmon that time?
We're matching tonight.
Salmon.
We got the pink going on.
We're matching. On the merits, and I think that's the point you're making. But on the merits, it's okay for Senator McCain to go after Ambassador Rice. But here's what's offensive about what is happening. When you question her intelligence, when you look at her long resume of accomplishment, when you say apparently she doesn't know what's going on or she doesn't understand, that's when people get offended. It's okay on the merits. If you believe that you have a legitimate issue, 4 Americans are dead, including the U.S. ambassador. I've consistently said this appears to be an issue, and it might be a problem for the White House. I understand why some say that it is not. I can understand both sides, but don't attack her character.
I got no love for or lost for Susan Rice, Andrew, but it seems that it's the wrong messenger they're going after. All she did was she took point on a Sunday show and she followed the script. Now, should she have been the one out there? I'm with you, Jessica. I still don't know why, given her title, other than trying to get a better exposure, she went out there. But it seems that they're going after the wrong person.
It's all a proxy for President Obama. Lindsey Graham said as much, that, you know, whatever we're saying about Susan Rice, I still blame you for all of this. And I think that's obvious from how many bites they're trying to take at the same apple here, where it's, you know, the day of the attack, you had Mitt Romney criticizing the White House, and from the moment after that, you've had criticisms of the White House for how they've handled this, even though I don't think those are particularly warranted. I'm not offended by the way that they're treating Susan Rice. I think she's fair game. She
Maybe
put her,
I'm
she put
naive,
her
but
head
I don't
on
know
the,
if it's a black-white thing. They would have said the same thing if Hillary was one on the Sunday show, right?
I think they probably would have attacked anybody who the White House put out there, because it would be a surrogate for the White House. I'm not offended by it. I'm disappointed. I'm disappointed that they're just going to keep going at this until they find something. It's very reminiscent of Whitewater, where it's just, we'll just keep expanding the scope of this. We're finding new things to complain about until we have a reason to attack the president and actually do some damage against him.
If somebody came out and said, Jessica, time out. We got 6 different credible threats or attacks that happened at this same outpost in Benghazi 6 months prior to the September 11th attacks. Somebody should have put more security there when it was. If that comes out, that's to me the most legitimate thing. It's not who said what on a Sunday show, because I still, for the life of me, don't see the value of saying it was a video or it was a terror attack.
No, but it is, because it's a matter of national security, and 4 Americans are dead, and those families deserve answers, and the American public deserves answers.
But you'd have a more compelling argument to me if it was that the Intelligence Department wanted to say something and the White House scrubbed it and put something else in. The Intelligence Department, General Petraeus himself said that they were the ones who redacted the information.
Well, now they're saying that.
You can't do that.
There have been so many differing accounts, and I don't think that there's anything wrong. I think it's up to all of us. It's our obligation to get to the bottom of it.
There's never going to be an answer that's going to satisfy the right on this. There's never going to be an answer.
That's not true
There's
at
never
all.
going to be an answer unless there's a
serious
smoking gun video of President
questions.
Obama saying, no, let them attack the embassy.
All right. Now, we're not going to get to the answer of this tonight, but we are going to put a bow next segment on the election that just happened. And forget about Republican and Democrat. There were 2 very different ideas on how to run a campaign we're learning right now. We're going to get into that in Real Politics, how the Romney campaign went after voters and how the Obama folks did. I think is going to definitely change the way we see campaigns going forward in the future. Stay with us.